Hello everyone. Our subject is web technology. I am Professor Dhage S.A from Computer Engineering Department. We are going to learn today first unit of web technology, unit 1, web essentials and markup languages HTML. So basically this is the introductory unit. We can take an introduction from the basic concepts of the internet working languages, HTML languages, website development languages, right? So first of all, the concept is web development. What is meant by web development? So web development is used for process of creating a web applications or websites that needs to get hosted. It's done as a client-side scripting as well as server-side scripting, includes database scripting also. So we are going to learn one by one things in a proper way in the next further points. So it includes content management also, web designing, security, etc. the terms, right? So what is meant by client-side programming done by? So client-side programming is done by using the various types of languages like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Flash, Ajax, and Microsoft Silverlight also. And the server-side programming done by using the various types of languages, that is ASP, PHP, ASP.NET, Servlets, JSP, Web Objects, Cold Fusion, then Python, Ruby on Rails, and SSJS. Then database connectivities can be done by using ADO.NET, JDBC like technologies. So basically, our syllabus includes the basic introductory terms, that is the internet. So what is meant by internet? So internet is a very basic thing and which is popularly known by the everyone. So we just take a review. The internet is basically a globally interconnected network system facilitating worldwide communication and access to data resources through a huge collection of personal, public, business, academics, and governments networks. So it is a globally connected internetworking network. So by using for use the internet, there are various types of basic internet protocols are there. So named as TCP/IP. TCP/IP stands for Transmission Control Protocol or Internet Protocol. Specifies how data is exchanged over the internet by providing end-to-end communication that identify how it should be broken into a small number of packets, addressed and transmitted, routed, received at the destination side. And IP stands for Internet Protocol. This is a protocol or set of rules used for routing and addressing the packets of data so that they can travel across networks and arrive at the correct destination site, right? So next protocol we can see that the UDP. UDP stands for User Data Game Protocol. This is alternative to TCP, like a TCP, but this is alternative for TCP. So if UDP provides set of rules that governs how data should be exchanged over a internet, UDP is used to encapsulate the data into packets and providing its own header information to packets. UDP packet encapsulates to IP packets and sends off to its destinations. Then next one, HTTP or HTTPS. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocols, and if we append S to HTTPS, then it is working in a more secure form, in a more secure formation. Then DNS stands for Domain Name Systems. Domain name systems are nothing but used for the translating the human readable domain names like google.com, yahoo.com, gmail.com into IP addresses like 172.217.10.14. So IP address is nothing but one special name, one special address, virtual address of any particular computer system which are used to route the data on the internet, right? So DNS term is used to refers to group of computers that are known by a single common name. The mechanism of translating domain names or computer names into IP addresses is called as the DNS. right? So this is a process of transmitting the computer name, domain names into a address of that computer, that is the IP address. Then next one is FTP, stands for File Transfer Protocol, which is particularly or professionally used for the transmitting the files, documents over the network. Then next one is SMTP. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocols, which is used to send the emails messages from one server to another server. For sending the mail, we are supposed to uh, priority wise SMTP. Then IMAP stands for Internet Message Access Protocol, and POP stands for Post Office Protocols. So that are the basic internet protocols and very main important types of internet protocols, which is the question is going to ask at the time of oral examination. Then next point is www. www stands for World Wide Web. So basically we can say that www as a W3 also. So it is a collection of websites, a collection of web forms stored in a web servers and connected local computers through internet. www was invented by English scientist Tim Berners-Lee in 1989. So basically www is used to demonstrate the concepts. He built first web browser cum editor called World Wide Web application and first web server. So it provides the three basic facilities, that is HTML, URI and HTTP. So HTML is nothing but a hypertext transfer markup languages. Then URI stands for Uniform Resource Identifier. Then HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So we are going to learn it one by one. So first of all, we have seen that the diagram is HTTP request message, HTTP response message. So let's know diagrammatically how to work is getting performed. If there is a server side programs and client side, there are the basic two sides of the internet. So at client side we are accessing the browser. Consider we as a client, so we are accessing various types of browsers, for example Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, then various types of browsers also. So if we want to access any types of browsers, then we can use browser, and we have to send the HTTP request towards the server side. And there are a basic two types of parts at the server side system. There is a database and web servers. Database are nothing but we can store a huge amount of data in the databases, and web servers having a centrally controlled computer system where all the small computers getting connected at the server side. So actually performation of instructions, programs, developments are performed at the server side. So if client wants to send the HTTP request, here we are using internet protocol as HTTP, because we have to just sending the transferring the packets. So HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So client side browser sends the HTTP request towards the server side when after performation of the basic instructions as per the perspective of the clients, then it will sends the response, HTTP response towards the client by the server sides. Later the basic two diagrams are here, which properly shows the how the working is HTTP request and how to work for HTTP response messages. Then web clients are nothing but we can access various types of browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer. So we are using two browsers, which is a front end and locally connected internet working networks. So this is the basic computer systems, and web clients can only use access the web sites and various types of facilities provided by the server. And server is a main central computer system where all the databases that get stored, all the definitions, declarations of the websites getting stored, related confidential data is stored, and web server manages all the things very proper manner. Then second diagram is server side, client side, which is also visualized, which is also represents the actual working of how HTTP request sends by the client and how to perform operations on the server side and how server sends the response towards the client. Then next part is HTML. So basically HTML is used for designing the websites, developing the different types of web forms by using the internet website development languages. So HTML stands for Standard Generalized Markup Language. There are four types, that is hypertext markup language. We can go through the particular words also. So we have to know the meaning of particular words also. So oral perspective questions. Hyper means opposite of linear. Linear works in the linear means, for example, computer programs flows in linear form. So if there is a proper sequential form, then we can consider it as a computer program. And at the time of website development or web applications, it performs oppositely of linear. So we can allow us to view any page anytime by clicking any link. So text is what we will use. Text means nothing but a data. Then markup instructions for displaying or printing the text. Then language, it's a language that uses tags to define structure of your text. So basically there are four parts of the HTML. HTML having various types of tags to develop a various types of forms. There is a basic HTML elements are considered here, that is H1, H2, H3, H6 is used for to create headers for varying the sizes of your font of text. Then we can use paragraph tags. We can use BR for the line breaking purpose. Then if you want to apply various types of styles to our HTML web forms, we can use CSS, nothing but a cascading style sheets. Then we can using a linking facility also, frames. We can display our data into a listing style also. We can show the data in a table format also by using various types of tags. Here in table we are representing a basic tags, their syntax and descriptions. We are going to learn in the practical term. At the practical session is one by one. So these are the various types of tags. Then the title tag is used for giving the defining the title for the HTML documents. Body tag contains the visible contents of HTML documents. Then P tag, anchor tag also for used for transferring one page to another, navigating purpose actually. So OLELI is used for listing purposes. Then HR tag is used for horizontal lines and so on. There is a various types of tags are there. Then there is a main difference, important difference of HTML and HTML5. HTML stands for hypertext markup language, as we know that, but HTML is a basic collection of tags and syntax inside in it. But whenever we require to process various types of audio video files also throughout our websites, through the internet, over the internet, then in HTML it is not getting a possible, because HTML having a restricted way or a limited tags to in it, so it is not getting to support for audio and video files. But HTML5 is introduced in earlier phase that supports high quality of audio and video. So here is a difference, that HTML5 is invented, is launched in the market in of a website development perspective for with a more advanced technologies, with advanced facilities and services also. So next part, it's CSS. CSS stands for cascading style sheets. As we know that by using HTML we can write, we can draw, we can present, we can construct various types of web forms. But if it is not in a presentative manner, it is quite being a boring way. So if you have to if you have to apply for number of styles and impressive styles, presentable styles to our web forms, so there is a CSS terms is introduced in the market, that stands for cascading style sheets. So key features of CSS are separation of concerns, reusability, flexibility, device adaptability. Means if we write a CSS for one file, then we can use it for the multiple number of files also. So reusability is used for reusability comes in a picture that performs the we can save our times, and it is a flexible, and device adaptability means it is used in the computer screen also, mobile screen also, tablet screens also. There is a basic syntax for CSS, two parts basically, selector and declaration, and we can write a CSS in that form also. there are three types of CSS actually. CSS is mainly used for providing the style sheets to our HTML documents. So inline CSS, internal CSS and external CSS are the three types of CSS. So inline CSS is applied directly to an HTML elements using the style attributes. There is a syntax of inline, so we can pass the whole the syntax in only one line inside our HTML code. So we can consider it as an inline CSS. Then second part is internal CSS, means placed within the style tag only. Style tag in the head section of the HTML document. So there is a head section first. Inside the head section there is a style tag we have to write, and only inside the style tag we have to write the CSS for our any particular font or any tags. So that will consider as internal CSS, and external CSS is nothing but it is a linked to the HTML documents via the link tag pointing to an external .css file. So we can write separate CSS file, separate file with extension .css, and can link to the our HTML file inside the head tag by using a link tag, that is link relation is equal to double quote. Inside the double quote we have to mention style sheet, and we have to navigating anchor tag link, that is href is equal to, and we have to pass particular CSS file's name inside in it. So there are basic rules for the CSS also, cascading and inheritance also. We can go through that various types of CSS files also and HTML tags also in a practical session. So till now we are stop our session here. Thank you so much for hearing. Thank you. Have a nice day.